I have always wondered how to explain what it feels like to miss someone. Someone who was physically present but emotionally absent. My father was in the house. He was there every day. But somehow he wasn't. He never really was. We ate from the same pot, sat on the same couch. But the distance between us felt like miles. A kind of emotional distance you can't touch or name, but you feel it in your bones. As a child, I was fascinated by him. He was tall and always serious. People outside the house respected him deeply. They said he was disciplined, focused, and a provider. But I wanted more than that. I wanted bedtime stories. I wanted him to ask about my day at school. I wanted him to show some love. And I wanted to show him my drawings and hear him say, "That's beautiful, I'm proud of you." But all I ever got were quiet notes, a hand on the shoulder. Sometimes even silence. I didn't know what I had done wrong. So I tried harder. I got good grades. I cleaned the living room before he got back. Memorized his tea preference. 1 cube of sugar, no milk, I would make it before he even asked. He would sip it, say thank you, and that was all. When I turned 14, I started boarding school. And part of me was relieved. At least now, the silence wouldn't echo so loudly. But each time we had a visiting day, I would wait by the school gate, hoping he would show up. My friends' parents would come with food and hugs and laughter. Mine didn't. But my mom always came. She never missed one. When I asked her if Dad would come, she would just sigh. "He's busy," she would say. "You know how he is." I stopped asking. So in SS2, something happened. I wrote him a letter, not for school, not for any assignment, just a letter from me to him. In it, I poured out everything. Told him I didn't want money or shoes. I just wanted us to talk, to know each other, to be father and child, not strangers sharing the same roof. But I never sent the letter. It stayed in my locker, folded, faded, and unread. By the time I entered university, I had learned to lower my expectations. If he didn't care, I wouldn't either. That's what I told myself. But during my convocation, as people's fathers hugged them, posed for pictures, whispered affirmations, I looked around and I missed him. I missed him like a child who still hoped to be seen, to be noticed. I sent him a photo of me in my graduation gown. He replied, "Well done, that's my child." That was all. 3 years later, I got my first job. I wanted to call him and tell him, not because I thought he would celebrate me, but because I wanted him to know I was doing okay. Instead, I told Mom, and then she told him. And that was it. When he got sick, we thought it was just stress, but the checkup revealed something worse. He was admitted. Mom called me to come home. I visited the hospital every day after work. He got weaker, but still very reserved, and we barely spoke. I sat by his bedside, sometimes in silence, sometimes reading out loud, just so the room wouldn't be so heavy. One day he turned to me and said, "You're doing well, my child. I love you so much, and I appreciate everything you do." And for a moment, I thought we were finally going to talk. But then he closed his eyes and went back to sleep. That night I went home, pulled out that old letter from years ago. I read it again, but I still couldn't give it to him. 3 weeks later, he passed on. At his funeral, people had beautiful things to say. He helped them, inspired them, rescued them in tough times. I listened, but smiling faintly. He was a hero to them, but he was a mystery to me. Afterwards, I went home, opened my laptop, and typed everything I wished I had said. Not for anyone else, but just for me, to give voice to years of silence. And when I was done, I wept. Not just because I lost him, but because I never really had him to begin with. People talk about grief like it only comes after loss. But sometimes grief begins long before the final goodbye. I do not hate my father. He was who he was. And maybe he loved me like he said, but then the only way he knew how. But I carry this story with me because I know someone else out there needs to hear it. You are not alone, trust me. If your relationship with a parent is complicated, if you're still waiting for words they never said, if you've written letters you never sent, I see you, and I hope if you still have the chance, you find the courage to speak. Say what's on your heart. Do not wait for the so-called right time, because sometimes the loudest regrets come from the words we never said. This was the message I never sent to my father, but maybe by sharing it now, I finally said it, and I hope you find the courage to do the same.